tutorial.
Hi, I'm Monique from Beats and Basics. Thanks for watching this jewelry tutorial. Today I'm going to show you how you can make this cool leather bracelet with a fishtail braid, and I'll show you what you need. For this bracelet you're going to need the following materials: 4 different colors of macrame cord, 10mm leather, jewelry glue, pliers, these pliers that you can make a hole with, a lighter, and a double loop ring, and caps for the 10mm leather, a lobster clasp, and a 4mm jump ring. For this bracelet, first you're going to start by measuring the leather, and then you're going to take off about 1 centimeter that you're gonna use for the end caps and the clasp. So this is the leather, and now we're gonna take our pliers and we're gonna make a hole on each end. So this is just a little trick. If you use a piece of paper, it'll be much easier and your hole will be nicer. So make a hole about 2-3 millimeters from the end on one side and also on the other side. Like this. And now we're gonna take our macrame cord, and you're gonna need about 1 meter of each color. So I'm using gray, pink, vintage purple, and some dark blue. So about 1 meter of each color, and then you're gonna put your threads together like this. And then you're gonna wiggle that through your hole that you just made. Pull it out a little bit. And then we're gonna tape this to the surface. So you got your leather and your threads, and now we're going to make a fishtail braid, and I'll show you how to do that. First you're gonna divide your threads into 2 bundles, and it's easy if you lay it in the pattern that you want to use. So 1 thread of each color on each side. And this is gonna be my pattern, so pink, purple, gray, and blue. And now we're gonna start braiding. So we're gonna start with the left side. I'm gonna take the pink thread and put it through to the middle over these 3 threads, just to the other side. And then I'm gonna take my pink thread on the right side and I'm gonna bring it to the middle, but I'm gonna put it over 4 threads. Then the next color I want to use is purple. So I'm going to take my purple thread on the left, bring it to the middle over the 3 other threads. And the same on the other side. My purple thread, bring it to the middle over 4 threads. Then gray. One side, on the other side, and then the blue. So this is the first piece of your pattern, and in the beginning it can be a little bit tricky, not as neat as you would like it to be, but that's okay because we're going to fix it later. But we're just going to continue this braid. So always start with the outer left thread, and your left thread's going over 3 threads to the middle, and your right thread's always going over 4 threads to the middle. So now it's purple, both sides, gray, and blue. And you're just gonna continue this pattern and braiding down all the way to the end of your leather. So I finished my braid. It's long enough. It's exactly the same size as where I put the hole in my leather. And now we're gonna finish this off. So I'm just gonna cut these excess pieces of macrame cord. A little bit more. And I'm just gonna twist it a little bit so it's easier to get through this hole. Make sure you got all your pieces of macrame cord. That looks about right. And now this was a little bit tricky to test because with the leather and the macrame cord, it's a bit difficult to get on your end caps. But I found a small solution. So we're just going to cut off the excess cord. And then just carefully take a lighter and you're gonna melt the end of the macrame cord. There's a little bit of nylon in the cord so it melts. So just be really careful, don't burn yourself. But just melt the end of the cords a little bit and then push it into the leather. Like this. And to make it even a little bit more flat, I'm just gonna take my pliers and just squeeze everything together. So your goal is to make this as flat as possible so it'll fit into your end cords. So take one of your end caps and fill it with jewelry glue, about half of the cap. So don't use too much glue and just spread it out evenly through your cord end, like this. And then you're just gonna slide that over. Make sure all the pieces of macrame cord are inside your cord end. That looks about right. Perfect. And now we're going to do the same on the other side. So just flatten out your braid a little bit. And again, cut your macrame cord. Melt it a little bit with your lyre, be careful. Just leave it there for 1 or 2 seconds, not longer, because then you'll actually set the cord on fire. That's not what we want to be doing here. So just melt it a little bit, push it into the end of your leather and flatten it even more with your pliers. Like this. And take your other end cap, fill it up with some glue. And then slide over the end of your leather. Like this. Perfect. So you can see the end of the braids are nicely tucked away, and now I'm just going to glue the braid onto the leather. So just put some glue on the back of your braid all the way down. Don't use too much glue, otherwise it'll stick out. Just a little bit of glue all along your braid. Yes. And you want to leave this to dry for at least half an hour, maybe an hour. Just check before you start putting on your clasp that it's completely dry. Like this. Really loving these colors. So I'm just going to leave this to dry for a little bit and then I'll show you how to finish it. Okay, so I left everything to dry and now we're just going to finish it up with a clasp. So on one side you're going to take your 4mm jump ring, lobster clasp, and attach it to your cord end. And on the other side I'm using a double loop ring. So just open that and slide it onto your cord end. And that's your bracelet finished. I really like this design. I also made it in another color. This is brown with gold. This has a more boho feeling to it. But we have loads of different colors of leather and macrame cord in our shop, so you can make it exactly as you like. I hope you like this one. If you want to make it yourself, you can buy all the materials in our web shop, www.beadsandbasics.com. And if you want to share your creations, you can do that on Instagram using #beadsandbasics. We love to see all the things you make. If you want to see even more jewelry tutorials, subscribe to our channel, and hopefully see you next time. Bye bye!